at the end. There it goes. Okay. So I've now topped my I-258. I'm gonna try to get zoomed in so y'all can see this a little better and see the roots that were on the backside that you couldn't see. Yeah, actually, now that I've got it off, I can see some roots down here. Hey everybody, this is Danny with My Fig Sticks, where I'm trying to fuel your fig addiction one experiment at a time. Y'all, today it is time for this I-258 air layer. It's got to go. We are getting cooler and cooler at night. We're talking about mid to low 40s every night for the next few days. We're still a couple weeks away from this tree going dormant. I don't want to wait, y'all. I want to get it off. Maybe I'm being impatient, maybe not. But I'm gonna get this I-258 air layer taken off, up potted in the garage on a heat mat under a grow light, and I'm gonna take y'all along for the ride. But today is the day this I-258 has got to come off. One thing I wanted to bring up, prior to the wetting, I did go ahead and wet this down again with some Azos water. A viewer suggested that I try to remove all of the leaves, which I have done. I did remove some of the figs, some of the larger ones I kept because I was really hoping they would ripen. Well, while we were busy with the wedding and out of town, we got some rain, and while these figs were ripening, you can see they're starting to split. Look at this one over here. I mean, it is split something horrible. If I can find it, there it is. It looks terrible. So I give up. Today is the day we're going to get this taken care of. I'm going to cut all of these figs off. Probably cut most of these leaves off, what is left too, especially the apical buds. I want this guy to concentrate on roots and nothing but roots. Before we left for the wedding, I did go ahead and tie this up. I knew those storms were coming, so I braced it. I didn't want the storm to take out the top of my tree. We didn't get the storms, y'all. We got some rain, no storms here. I know my buddy Jeremy down around San Antonio, they got hammered pretty hard. I think he has a video out on some of the issues they had with some hail. But I can see this is looking very good. It's still moist from when I wetted it down, I guess 6 days ago. So the roots are looking good. I did wrap it in saran wrap a few days ago to try to hold that moisture in, y'all. I think this works very well. So I'm going to get this off to, stuck right there. Oh, it's stuck on the tape residue. So there we go. Got that off. So from what I can see, the roots look really, really good. Oh, wow. Okay, so I have more roots back here than I had even 6 days ago. These at the top are looking very good. So here we go. I'm going to cut this tree right below my sandwich bag. Then I'm going to try to get this sandwich bag off without tearing anything up. Wish me luck there. And once I've got it down, then I'll try to take care of the figs, the leaves. So here we go. Let's try to get this topped off. Okay, I am going to wear gloves. Y'all, I've discovered that my skin does not like fig sap. I've gotten it on me. It actually will, if I leave it on, if I don't wash it off right away, I will actually blister up like a burn. And I literally look like I have burn marks on my hand in a couple places where I didn't get the sap washed off fast enough. Lesson learned. I'm going to try to wear gloves anytime I do something like this where there's a really good chance I'm going to get sap on me. The other thing, hopefully y'all can see this. I'll try to zoom in. This is a pretty robust stem, trunk, I should say. You can see down here, I mean, it's thick all the way up. I'm not going to try to cut these with my shears, my cutting shears. I'd probably be better off using my loppers, but then I wouldn't be able to hold on to the top. So I'm going to use my little hand saw, and I'm going to try to cut this guy again, like I said, right below the bag. I want to have all of this. I'm hoping there's roots in here that I cannot see. So I'm going to cut it right below there, and then we'll try to get this bag off. Let's try it. Let's give it a shot. All right, here we go. I hope this wind is not so loud that y'all can't hear anything. Oh, this is going so much better than than the brown turkey did. Well, until I get to the end, I am right here at the end. There it goes. Okay. So I have now I've now topped my I-258. I'm gonna try to get zoomed in so y'all can see this a little better and see the roots that were on the backside that you couldn't see. Yeah, actually, now that I've got it off, I can see some roots down here at the bottom. So I'm feeling pretty good about this. If I can get this bag off without tearing everything up, we'll see how it goes. All right, so let's take a look at this air layer that I have, or this is basically a tree, y'all. I mean, this is the perfect shape that I'm wanting for this tree. Maybe I can zoom in, I'll get a little closer, but you can see the roots right here looking very good. These are new roots down here. These were not here 6 days ago. Hopefully the Azos is working. Some more new roots here. So hopefully y'all can see that. All of the roots up here in the top look really, really good. So now I'm going to try to get this bag off. Y'all have never done this before, so y'all are going to get to see me succeed or fail right here in real time. So I'm going to get that ready. One thing I do want to mention again, I'm going to try to sprinkle the root ball with the Azos as well as the Mykos. So you're supposed to use about a tablespoon of each. I will sprinkle the root ball with that as well as put it in the hole in the pot. Got a knife here or razor knife to cut the bag off, and then of course my shears to cut the limbs off. I'll bring up too, I know I've talked about this before, but I'm using my normal mix. I use Vital Earth. It's local to East Texas. If you're in East Texas, check them out. You can get it at Jake's. You can get it at the Home and Garden Center. But I go heavy on potting soil and then garden mix. Probably between 60 and 70% potting mix. The rest garden soil. And then obviously I mix in some perlite as well as some peat moss into my soil. That's what I'm going with here as well. When I mix this, I usually mix big batches and then I just put it back in the bag. So this is pre-mixed, but that's what I'm going to use for that. Let's try to get this bag off and see how it goes. Okay, I went and got some wire snips to help me with these zip ties. So hopefully y'all can see that. I'll get these zip ties off. One last one. And that one's on there so tight I don't know where to get a hold of it. Well, sorry, y'all. There we go. Okay, so get these zip ties off of there. Clean up my mess later. Now, my idea here is to find the best place to cut on this Ziploc. You know what I think I'm going to do? Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. Again, y'all, I may be messing up. Y'all are about to see this live. I'm going to open this Ziploc up, right? So just like we were taking the sandwich out of the sandwich bag. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut along the bottom here. I'm going to try to cut along the top, and then hopefully that's going to let the bag just kind of peel off. So let's give that a shot. Oh, this side actually is almost cut all the way through already. That I did with the saw. There we go. That could be bad. Let me hold it like this. Should not be cutting towards me, but I am. All right, so there's the bottom. Now let's just see if I can just peel it off here. No, trying to be very, very careful. Oh, it actually split where I had it folded. That's interesting. Don't know why it would have done that, but it did. Y'all, I feel like I'm doing some kind of surgery here. And I know this part up here at the top, it's got a little ball and I can see roots in it. I'm trying not to hurt them. maybe y'all can help me out with, yeah, I'm going to lose that. And it's got roots. Oh, maybe not. Maybe I saved it just now. Okay. So I got my plastic bag off. Maybe y'all can help me. Maybe there's a better way to put those on, but the roots are looking pretty good. Let's give y'all a close-up of that without the bag on there. So not a ton of roots, but the ones that are there, they look good. So let's get this guy covered up in some Azos and Mykos. Give it a chance. All right, again, I'm going to sprinkle some of the Azos and the Mykos on the root ball. It says a tablespoon of each. So we'll start with the Azos, and what I'm going to do, okay, I'll show y'all real fast. It comes with a scoop. This is the tablespoon. I'm assuming this is a half a tablespoon. I'm just kind of filling the half, and I'm going to sprinkle it and kind of roll the root ball around, hoping the wind doesn't blow all of this off. Oh my goodness, a big chunk of soil just fell off. Y'all, I don't know about this bag method. Maybe it's just me. Help me out. Help me understand how to make this work better. All right, let me get a little more of the Azos. I just feel like the little soil pods, although I didn't like the way they went together or the way they came apart. I don't know, it just seemed like it was more compact, easier. Like I said, help me out in the comments. What am I doing wrong? Get a little bit of this Mykos on here. And hopefully, like I said, this says that this will really aid in rooting, helping the roots out. I'm going to put some of this in the hole as well. But I got the root ball covered up really good. Actually, the soil that just came off only had one little root in it. So maybe I didn't tear things up too bad. I guess we'll see. All right, I got you guys right above me looking down on what I've got going here. So I'm going to very carefully set this aside, get my hole dug, go as close to the center as I can. Once I get this potted, I will water it in really, really well. Just to make sure, and I'll probably water it in with some Alaska fish fertilizer. So I'm going to go ahead and put almost a whole tablespoon in the hole, and I'm not just getting it in the bottom of the hole. I'm trying to sprinkle it on the sides so that it'll kind of stick to the sides as well. I'm going to do the same with the Azos. Y'all, the Mykos is more granular. The Azos is almost like flour. It's very, very fine, powdery. So we got that in there. And again, trying to get it on the sides as well as the bottom. We have roots all up and down this, so we're going to do that. Now, I'm going to get this guy stuck in the soil. All right, so I did leave a little bit of room at the bottom of this pot as well. It's not all the way to the very bottom. There we go. Try to get him as straight as I can. Now I'm just going to backfill and pack all of this in around him. Probably going to add a little more soil. It's not quite straight. There we go. That straightened them up nicely. Got some more soil here. Also, probably, since this is going to be in the garage, I don't want any fungus gnats. So I'm probably going to top this off with some perlite to help prevent those pesky gnats from forming. All right. There we go, y'all. The I-258 is up potted. Let's hope he takes. I will get him into the garage. But the next thing I want to do, I think I want to, so I want to take off all the leaves. I think I'm going to take off most of the leaves. Maybe I'm going to cut some of the leaves in half. And I am going to remove all of these figs, especially this guy. I'll go ahead and remove that. I don't think he has a chance. He split wide open with that rain. I might leave this one. In fact, I may even just take that one. But these little ones, I don't know. Hopefully, y'all. I'm going to change the angle so y'all can see what I'm doing. About to do with this. One thing I am going to do as well. He's very top heavy right now. Yeah, I'm going to get a stake in here and brace him as well. Let me change the camera angle and we'll talk about these leaves and these figs and the brace. Okay, first things first, the wind's blowing so hard I want to get this guy braced up. I've got just a regular garden stake. I actually cut this one down for some peppers before. So yeah, I'm just gonna go right here. Go. And then I'll just tie them off with some tomato twine, and we'll be done with that. And this is just to make sure he doesn't fall over when I'm moving him around, or if I set him outside and the wind's blowing. I'm going to set him out as much as I can, but these next few nights when it's in the 40s, he's probably going to stay in the garage. I don't want him outside in that. So definitely the next few days he'll be in the garage, just chilling out, staying warm. But we've got him tied up now, so now he can't fall over. Now what I'm going to do is go ahead and remove a lot of these leaves. I think what I might do, I've seen quite a few people do this, but they'll actually just we'll just cut the leaf off like that. And what that'll do is kind of stop that growth. I am going to go ahead. Let me turn them just a little bit. I'll just try to zoom in. So all of these apical buds, I don't want that. I don't want him trying to grow anymore at all. This is where I want him to stop. So I'm going to go ahead and nip those apical buds as well. I'll do that on all of these. That stops that upward lateral growth. And then I'll trim these leaves like I said to kind of stop that as well. But I'm going to go ahead and do this with all of the limbs. And I want to have him ready to go. Again, I want all focus from this I-258 air layer to be on root growth. I do not want any more lateral growth. Obviously don't want any more figs, but I'm going to trim these up, all these leaves up like so. These figs are definitely coming off. One thing I saw, and I thought this was interesting, and I'm going to do it. It makes perfect sense. They were saying when you're cutting your leaves off, and unfortunately I kind of did, but they said don't cut the leaves off right at the stem because that causes a scar. Go ahead and cut the leaf off kind of leaving a little bit of gap there. Look, I got fig sap on me. That's why I'm wearing gloves. And then let the leaf stem fall off naturally. That makes perfect sense. I'm going to give it a try. But for example, this one, cut that off. But hopefully you can see I left a lot of the stem there. I'll let that fall off naturally. Did the same with that one. But I'm going to get this cleaned up, and I will check back with you guys when I'm ready to put it inside in the garage. Okay, before we go in the garage, I wanted to show you guys what all I've done in the daylight, or in the sunlight, I should say. But notice when I cut some leaves off, I left a little stop there. We'll let that fall off naturally. Also, I cut off all of the apical buds. You can see that there. I did also remove lots of figs from him, and I trimmed all of the leaves just so that they won't grow out anymore either. I want it focusing on that root growth. Except, being selfish, these two figs were beginning to ripen. Actually, this one is almost ready to come off. So hopefully under a grow light and heat mat, those will go ahead and finish ripening. But let's get this guy in the garage on a heat mat and under that grow light, and hopefully he'll be ready to go for some cool fall nights. Here we go. This is my I-258 air layer that I just cut off, trimmed all of the figs, the leaves, the apical buds. I have got him potted up. I did leave a couple figs because I'm selfish. Hoping those will go ahead and ripen. And I have grow lights, a heat pad. You can see right now my soil is fairly cool, 61.1. So we've got a ways to go. I'm shooting for 68 degrees, but y'all, that's it. That's my air layer. I'm going to show y'all the base and what my plan is there. But this is the air layer all potted up, tucked away for these cool nights. Hopefully it is outside in the sunlight as much as it is indoors. But while I'm having 40-degree nights and 60-degree days, he's going to be in here on a heat mat. So this is what is left of my I-258. Obviously, you just saw me cut the top out of this. Y'all, I'm going to use this paste. I'll have to put some gloves on again, but I'm going to put that on the top of the wound. This is something that Cajun Chuck turned me on to. What it does, it hardens off. It just protects any wounds on your air layers or your cuttings. So I'm going to get that on there when I get some gloves back on to protect that for the next couple of weeks or few weeks until this, I feel like everything has gone dormant. I am going to cut this tree probably right in this area here. What I want is for my lateral branches to come out here. I don't want them at the top. That was the whole point of topping that tree. Hopefully next spring when this guy wakes up, all of these will start putting on new branches. I am going to give some of these cuttings away. Probably going to keep one for myself too, just in case none of this works. But I do have a few friends that I'm going to give cuttings to. But that's it. So that's my I-258 air layer experiment. Y'all, really appreciate y'all sticking around this long with me. Hopefully this turns out. It's not over yet. I'm going to keep y'all posted. How does the tree top do? How does the air layer itself do? How does this do? But thanks again for sticking around. Thanks for watching. Y'all, fig addiction is a real thing. Just embrace it. I'm trying to help fuel your fig addiction with all of my experiments. Y'all join the Figolution. Thanks again. Man, that thing looks bare. Sure hope this doesn't fail on me. Oh boy.